You ever experienced where there's been days and days of rain and dark sky and everything is damp and dark and you're just like, dude, that's kind of how you feel? And then all of a sudden one morning you wake up and the sun is out and your spirits have been lifted and your eyes to the sky to think, wow, the lid has been taken off my barrel. I'm living again. Yeah, it was like that. Today we're going to talk about getting called back, coming back online after a dark night of the soul. Let's go. Welcome to Phoenix Rising, a superior podcast for all of your transformative tools for personal and spiritual growth. Let's go get that nugget. It was a Christmas celebration. Downtown in the cherry capital of the world, Santa was coming to visit. We had taken the boys to this downtown event, and there's a parade, there's lots of music, lots of food, live bands. It's really kind of a fun event in our downtown, and it's super cold. And we brought the boys, and I don't know if you know this, but our middle son, Brandon, has autism. And how I gently and lovingly describe him is kind of like a 6-year-old in a 20-year-old body. He's, 6'3". He's just a little beanpole, and but he's got very young interests and that kind of attention of like a 6-year-old. Loves to dance. He's very compassionate. He's very funny. And then sometimes he's not any of those things. So we are downtown. We're having a good time. There's music. We're dancing. We're singing. We're walking around. There's tons and tons and tons of people. And when we were done, when the parade was over, Santa was done, all the Christmas music was what we had sung it all. We're now getting ready to go home. And so we're walking through downtown and the road's close where we can walk on the road, walk on the sidewalk. Anyway, we're walking around and Brandon is getting pretty squirrely, like bumping into people as we're walking. He's kind of loud. He's flopping his body around. He's a little bit like a wet noodle, even though he's really tall and he's a big kid. I mean, he's tall, but he's like flopping his arms around and he's kicking his legs around and he's just kind of being happy, but you can just kind of tell that he doesn't have control of his body. And then we get home and that lack of control of his body turns into aggression, where now he doesn't want to do anything. He's arguing with us. It becomes like this push-pull arguing, and it was kind of a bad scene. And without going into great detail about what ended up happening, there was a lot of aggression and a lot of trying to get everybody under control. It's like, 10:30 at night. It's been a long day. It's been a lot of overstimulation with all the people, the music, the stuff. And he is what we would call, and if you're in the world of nervous system regulation now, is we call that a dysregulated state. And we talked to his occupational therapist the next day, and she's like, oh yeah, what you probably should have done is had him carry a heavy backpack downtown, take it off, let him kind of, move his body and dance and all the stuff. And then when you're walking back is put that heavy backpack back on him. So he was dysregulated. Well, that became our new word. That became a very regular vocabulary word in our household as it relates to Brandon. When he went to school, when he went to different camps, when he went to big events, then we needed to equip ourselves with something that would help regulate him. And typically for him, that meant something heavy. So now fast forward in my life as I've learned that word, I understand what that word means. And now as I'm going through my own personal hell, if you will, the dark night of the soul, it is a personal hell. It was a personal hell for me. If you're going through it, it's probably a personal hell for you too. It is a very weird state. And it's not just a transition, like I've talked about in the last several episodes. It is not a transition. It doesn't mean that something is happening, like you're going through some life transition, like you're going through divorce or a loss of some kind. You got fired, weight gain, menopause, anything. Sometimes it just shows up. And for me, I felt like it just showed up. And in the last several episodes, I explained different stages as I journaled this whole process. I journaled all the epiphanies. I journaled how I felt. I journaled the awarenesses I had, because I knew that once I was at the end of it, I was going to teach this to other people. And I'm hoping that you're getting something out of this. I hope that you are understanding or building an awareness, getting some nuggets. Like I always say, like, hey, you know what? I share nuggets, right? I say, I hope you're feeling something free, healing, whatever. And then I say, and if you're not feeling those things, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. And that's what we're doing. We are transforming. And in all these episodes, I've given you step by step different awarenesses that I had and things that I was going through. So I hope you're getting something out of these episodes, especially new meaning and vocabulary to help explain what you're going through, because it was a long, dark space for me. And even though it wasn't as long as other people, some people spend 20 years in this space because of the lack of awareness. And for me, it was about 18, 24 months, something like that. And I'm coming up to 24 months now in September. It's July right now, the end of July. And I'm coming up to it about 24 months in September. And it hit me square in the face. But anyway, now I understand this word dysregulation. And I started using this during this state. And I came to a few epiphanies, just like I said in the last couple episodes, with like forgiveness and surrender. And today's was all about faith, having faith in several different things I'm going to talk about today. But it was these great awarenesses for me, which helped my growth. And I think my 25 years of studying meditation and energy work, manifesting, chakras, stuff like that I just felt like that's what helped me shorten this. And what I'm hoping is that these episodes will help shorten your journey. But on the other side, you become a better version of yourself, because we're just transforming. We are in a constant state of transformation constantly. And then we hopefully get to experience through these transformations states of flow. And that was my goal. So when I was working, I was a coach and a personal coach, a group coach leader. I had the podcast, I have a YouTube channel. I did courses online. I did, Zoom calls and classes and challenges. I had a couple of groups that I was managing. I did some public speaking. All of those things were super fun. And then all of a sudden one day, I literally just hit a wall. I was done. Have you ever experienced that? If you're a runner, you also know what that is. You've done a marathon and all of a sudden you just you hit a wall and you're just done. And the only thing you can do is lay down. That to me is the body saying, I need a break. I need a rest. And I think it's a new dark space to connect with yourself at a deeper level. And if you don't have that awareness or desire or words or the understanding and meaning of what is going on, you can spend a long, long time there. I think that for me, it was a lot of intention work. Like first it was a whole bunch of what in the world is going on. Then it was, I'm in the middle of a burnout. Like I can't record my podcast. It was February 3rd last year or the year before, that I'm like, I'm just done. I couldn't record anymore. And I had 534 episodes, no warning, no anything, just stopped recording. So if you were a past listener and that happened where you're like, dude, okay, where's the next podcast episode? And it's just gone. And they're just a year goes by and there's just no more episodes. That's what happened. I hit a wall. And now that phrase, that burnout, exhaustion, I'm like, what is going on? And when I finally understood, it took a few months, but when I finally understood, I'm like, oh, I'm in the dark night of the soul. I'm like, oh, zippity doo dah. This is going to be a great time, with sarcasm. But I'm going to journal because here I am. So here's the story of Brandon in a dysregulated state. First, it showed up as just kind of this wild, uncontrolled, silly, flippy-floppy, we say flippy-floppy behavior, just flipping his arms around. He's just in this uncontrolled state. And then it turned to irritability and it turned to aggression. And understanding that it's a disconnect between the energy body, the physical body, and your mind. We use our mind as the driver of our vehicle. Now, Brandon, because he has autism, he doesn't always know that, oh yeah, I'm in this dysregulated state. I should ask mom for my backpack. Like, those things just don't happen. He doesn't have the awareness to now go say, hey, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit irritated. And so I need some time alone, or I need my heavy backpack, or he doesn't do that. So we have to have the awareness for him. and advocate for things like that. And that has been a journey with him. But this is not about Brandon and his autism or dysregulation. This is about feeling that you're in a dysregulated state and then finding solutions that work for you. So I'm in this dysregulated state. I try to sit down to do my podcast. Or I try to sit down and put a course together. I try to sit down and do some marketing or reach out to my community, and I can't do it. Like, I physically can't make myself do it. And so then I sit back and I go, okay, what is wrong? I feel immediately overwhelmed. I feel anxious. My energy is all in the top part of my body. We talk about where energy is located in the body when we talk about our emotions. And I'm like, I'm a mess. Like, I'm just a mess. Like, I just can't do it. So in this state over the next certainly several weeks, and even today, I have to put in practices and activities. I have to put them in place based on how I'm feeling so I can get back into my body. This is a way for my energy state to connect with my physical body. So one of the things that we did with Brandon is heavy lifting, heavy carrying, heavy pushing. Like, when he was younger in school, they would have him push a sled, literally a winter sled on their carpet hallways, full of books, or pull a wagon or push a cart that was really heavy, full of books, full of newspapers. And he would go and there would be a job involved. He's now going to push all these books, and he's going to go to the library, and he's going to take all these books and put them on the cart. And then he's going to take the other books that are already on the cart, because we had this all set up. And then he would take those back to the classroom. And now he's back in his body. He's like aligned. His mind, body, and energy is in the same space. Now he's aligned. Now he can sit still. Now he doesn't have any aggressive episodes. So thinking of that, I'm like, okay, I have to do that for myself too. I have to get into a regulated state because my body feels anxious and it feels overwhelmed and it feels chaotic. So the first thing going through this, I spent a lot of time with the inside, trying to understand, like, okay, what do I feel right now? What is the sensation? Where is it in my body? And I asked myself these questions. Now, let me ask you, if you feel anxious or overwhelmed or chaotic, what does it feel like? It's super uncomfortable. We distract, we pick up our phone, we get up and move around, we distract in some way, right? I mean, we have electronics right at our fingertips, so we distract from a feeling that's uncomfortable. And I'm going to say, in a moment when you are feeling that way, I want you just to, like, oh, okay, here it is. This is what Jen wants me to do. And I want you just to close the computer and the phone and whatever, and just close your eyes and sit with that emotion, that discomfort. Sit there for a second. Now, you're going to hate it because it's uncomfortable, but I want you to sit there for a second, and I want you to ask these questions. What am I feeling? Give it a name. Is it anxious? Is it anger? Is it irritation? Is it frustration? Is it chaos? Is it overwhelm? Any one of those. Then ask, what does the sensation feel like? If I had to describe it, does it feel heavy, light, buzzy, squirmy? Is it moving? Is it flipping around? Is it just heavy, dark? And then the last one is, where is it? Oh, I'm feeling it in my stomach. I'm feeling it in my chest. I feel it in my arms. It's in my head. It's in my legs. Where is it? And then, what do I want to do? What does it make me want to do? It makes me want to move. It makes me want to get up. It makes me want to throw things. It makes me want to curl up and cry. It makes me want to, get in bed and pull the covers over my head. What does it want me to do? And then look at the awareness you just got from that, sitting with it. All of this can happen, I'm not kidding, in like 2 minutes, less, 30 seconds, I mean. And you sit with it and you get this awareness. And then once you know, now you can you can solve these problems. So when I have anxiety or I have overwhelm, that what it makes me want to do is move. So let's pretend I now get up. I have this big, beautiful backyard. I have 2 dogs, and let's get up. We'll go walk. We'll go walk in the backyard. I'll go do some stuff. I'll go walk around, go take them for a walk. I'll go whatever. Okay. Then I come back and I go, did that solve the problem? Yes or no? Typically for me, it's a no. Now, when I'm feeling like irritable, when I'm feeling closed in, than going outside into the fresh air, into my yard, out into the grass, in the garden, in the backyard, then sometimes it does feel good. But when I'm feeling overwhelmed and anxious, here's what I need. I need heavy moving. I need heavy lifting. I need heavy pushing. I need strength training. Now, I was a personal trainer for 22 years or something. So I have a gym in my basement. I would literally, I'm not kidding you guys, I would go get on my treadmill and just walk, 3 point whatever miles an hour, 3.4 or 3.3, whatever. And I would grab 20-pound dumbbells, 10-pound dumbbells, and I would do bicep curls. I would do presses while I'm on the treadmill. So I'm moving the upper part of my body and I'm moving the lower part of my body. I have a spin bike with a 45-pound wheel on the front. I would get on the spin bike and I would grab some weights. And the reason I'm grabbing weights is I want to engage my entire body, not just my lower body, not just my legs. So I would, if I'm going to walk on the treadmill, ride the bike, I'm going to grab some weights and just move my arms while I'm on the treadmill or while I'm on the bike. And this was this amazing transformation. I would do that for 10 minutes. Sometimes I had to do it for half an hour. Depends on how dysregulated I am, right? Sometimes I would have to do it for longer, sometimes 5-10 minutes, and that was it. I wouldn't put anything on. I'm not bringing my phone. I'm not reading a book. I'm not watching a movie. I am feeling my body. Now, here's the magic. I wanted to be in a regulated state more often. So this became part of my morning ritual. This became part of my morning activities, my exercise, my movement, so I could start my day off in a regulated state. It was this magical thing that happened. Now, I want to share with you this feeling of getting called back online is as I started really getting in touch with my emotional body and my emotions and where they were and what they felt like and what I could do to help regulate them is to, and I have one more question to ask you, but I'm going to finish this sentence, is that what was happening is as I was coming back online, I was starting to feel regulated, but I was starting to feel like myself again. I got back to work. That my capacity for sitting down and bringing my podcast back or working on a course or doing some marketing or reaching out to my community felt easy. It felt I was in the flow state. Now my business did change. And that's part of it. That's part of the transformation. We talk about the caterpillar turning into a butterfly. His life changed. Things are different now. He can fly, right? He can go anywhere he wants to go. Now, instead of going on to there, I want to tell you the other question I had is, once you are asking, you're sitting with that discomfort and you can name the emotion. You say, okay, I'm feeling anxious. I want you to write this down because this is super, super important, is if I wasn't feeling anxious, I would be feeling what? Now, there are several times that I would ask myself that question and I would get different answers. So don't say, what is the opposite of anxiety? What is the opposite of overwhelm? Say, if I wasn't feeling blank, I would be feeling what? Now, sometimes for overwhelm, sometimes for me, it's strength, it's confidence, it's clarity, it's calm. It could be any one of those things. Now, when I start working with the emotions in this state, then I can say, if I wasn't feeling anxiety, I would be feeling what? Sometimes it's strong. Right now, it's showing up as strength. So then what I do is I say, okay, I'm willing to release anxiety and breathe in strength. Because here's the thing, you guys, listen to this. Listen, you have the capacity and the ability to manage your emotions through your thoughts and words. I'm not kidding. So I can say, okay, I'm feeling anxious right now. I'm going to ground. Where is it? It's up in my upper body. How's it feel? It's squirmy and buzzy. It's chaotic energy. If I wasn't feeling anxious, what would I be feeling? Strength. Okay, great. So now I go, take a deep breath and I breathe out. I'm releasing. I say this out loud. I am releasing this anxiety. Releasing the anxiety. Breathe in and I'm breathing in strength. Release anxiety. Breathe in strength. Dude, let me tell you how magical this works. Now, here's the thing. As I was increasing my capacity, that didn't always last very long. I could breathe in strength and it might last 5 minutes. But here's the big awareness. I managed it. I managed it. I used my thinking. I asked myself these questions and I managed this emotion. I lived through this experience with intention. If I wasn't feeling blank, I'd be feeling blank? It is such a powerful question to ask. Now let's get to where, while this was happening and I was starting to come back online, is I am starting to feel I have faith. That was the word that kept coming up. And I think I'm going to save the bigger part of what I was going to talk about today, because I'm at like 20 minutes right now, is for the next episode coming out next week. I'm going to talk about faith. So this one is about coming back online, but I want to merge this into the words that were showing up for me that I was ignoring years ago. Remember when I talked about a couple episodes ago, it was about forgiveness? I'm like, I'm not forgiving that person for what they did. That was terrible. And I'm not forgiving them. There's no way I'm going to say I forgive that person for hurting me the way they did. But I did when it came years later that I'm like, oh, here's what forgiveness means. It means for me to let it go so it's not affecting me anymore. It doesn't mean I want them back in my life. It doesn't mean what they did was okay, but I get to let go of the grip. And then it became more flow. Then one of the words was surrender. Well, to me, surrender was giving up. It isn't. It's going with the flow. Oh, there's a big difference. Now, in the next episode, I'm going to go deeper into faith, what that meant for me, and how I started to use faith as I was coming back online, of what it meant to have faith in something that I can't see, but I can feel. And having faith in bigger things, having faith in myself, having faith in this process that I was going through, having faith in the journey that I was on. I didn't start this journey. Like this happening gave me such an epiphany that there is an energy in this world, in this universe, that we're either working with or working against. And for me to surrender and forgive and have faith, holy crap. Like, this made such a big difference in the outcome of me getting into a regular state, trusting my meditation practice, moving with intention into the world that I wanted to experience. And though I'm at the tail end of, even as I talk to you right now, I'm at the tail end of the dark night of the soul for myself. But it only lasted, like, I can see the sun again. And I understand so much more, and the depth that I have of this awareness of what I was going through and my emotional states is so much greater that now I feel like I can reach you and I can tell you it's going to be okay. You're going through it, and I'm hoping that I'm giving you nuggets to help you get through this in a timely manner. But this isn't going to take you the rest of your life. But let me share something with you. If you have faith in yourself to do some of this work and to have these different awarenesses and shifts happen, you're going to get through it, and you're going to be a better version of yourself. Things are going to change in your life. They're going to get better. They're going to get better. You're going to be able to stand on that branch and take off and spread your wings. And that, my friend, is gold. That is why we live this life, is because as we go through these transformational states, we get to stand on that branch, spread our wings, and glide. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked that episode, please write a review, share it with others, and let me know how it landed with you. If you'd like to support this podcast, please check out in the show notes where you can buy me a chai tea, or you can even leave me a message about topics you would like me to cover. For more transformational tools, techniques, and programs, check out my website, theenrichmentacademy.com. Bring your journal, open your heart, and let's get ready for some serious transformation.